What's up? It's your girl here, MJ's Nia, aka just Nia. Okay. Hey y'all, what's up? Um, there's some topics we want to touch on real quick. Like I'm gonna try to be quick as I can. Um, there's a whole lot been going on besides the virus. Before I get into this, you know, I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is social media. This is what we do. We share ideas, thoughts, and opinions. Before you come up in here being like you have no right to talk about this, all I'm doing is just sharing my ideas with you. So with that said, so I guess Trump. I don't really talk about president. I try not to talk about a whole lot of politics, but I believe he's going after Twitter. I think Twitter, let me know if I got the story correct. I believe Twitter started blocking his words. He started talking about the Russians or whatever, and Twitter is basically having like some type of war with Trump. So now Trump is looking at all the social media. So I don't know what's going to happen, but he's saying that all the other social media does it too. So I guess he's about to do something to, they're already kind of doing it with the coronavirus. If you notice, I'm not going to put any COVID-19 or anything like that in my videos anymore, but they're still probably going to watch it or whatever and still put it as a coronavirus video. But yeah, I want to let you guys know, if you are talking about that topic, if you are talking about Trump, there's a lot of stuff going on in the news saying that everybody on here is doing a conspiracy theory. So all of us need to be very careful. If you're on Instagram, I see people on Instagram Live be talking. I be seeing people on Twitch talking. I be seeing people everywhere on social media talking about this virus, Trump. He was like, y'all know, be careful, because now they really looking at us now. Okay, so be very, very careful with that. So with that said, the first thing I want to talk about is Denzel Washington. Shout out to him for helping the homeless dude out. This would have been another incident. A black man got shot by a policeman. So shout out to him. Okay, he did something very nice. He stopped whatever they were doing to this homeless man. They stopped it, and a lot of people are saying that he's a good example for us. We need to be more like this. We need to stop being like, on the innocent bystander, and be like, hey, we gotta stop this. They know this has to stop, because it took someone like him to do something like this, and now people are saying, hey, we need to do something. We should have been doing this before Denzel Washington do it. So shout out to him. Yeah, you a real one. You's a real one. Thank you, Denzel. Also, before I get into the topic of, the whole George Floyd case, before I get into that, this is going to lead into that. So today, I saw something interesting. I saw a post by another YouTuber. Let me find it. I'll be right back. All right, so I found the post, and basically, here we go. All right. She says, I know emotions are high and we care deeply about our community, but Black women, can you please stay home? I have been seeing news coverage of some Black women marching and protesting. I wish many would stay home during this pandemic, but also I don't want to shot and killed by police. Marching and protesting has never worked and never will. Let the men be men and take care of this. Please hear me out for your own sake, for your children's sake. Now, I understand her wholeheartedly. I think she has a wonderful channel. Her channel uplifts Black women. But these are grown women. They have sons of their own. So they're just looking out for their sons not to get shot and killed like George Floyd. And also, a lot of people have been caping for other Black women. I've been hearing a lot of posts underneath her main post. I see a lot of comments on there. They're like, nobody's escaping for black women. Nobody really cares about black women. I understand, people are a little upset by this. I get this because I'm a black woman myself. And I don't like the fact that this had to start yet again off a black man, because there have been plenty of other people that has been killed and nobody really knows anything about it, especially the black women. And us black people, we gotta do better with that, of being aware of who is getting harmed in the neighborhood and who's not. So we have to do a better job at this. Now, I want to talk about this real quick, the hashtag Black Lives Matter. Yeah, a lot of people are confused by this. They're trying to say that we think that our lives are better than everybody else's life. That is not it at all. We just feel that we don't get the respect and we don't get the equal rights as other races of people. So no, we're not talking about black lives are better than anybody else's race. So I want to clear that up too as well. Another thing too, I feel like a lot of people out here are benefiting from hashtag George Floyd name.
Y'all tell him to give me that George Floyd discount. I need that Black Lives Matter discount. Need that. Y'all tell him to give me that George.
If y'all don't know, this stuff has went global. This is a global protest. This is not an American protest. This is a global protest from different races around the globe. So I just want to put that out there. With that said, I saw a picture that was a little bit alarming, and she was dressed up like she was modeling, and she had the hashtag George Floyd.
Oh no, look at her.
Now, I was like, what is somebody, I don't know. What do you think of this? I just think that they're kind of just using the name here. I hope you see the picture, but I was like, okay, like I'm a little skeptical about this. Like, why is George Floyd name being used for things like this? But so basically, what's going on is people are benefiting from using hashtag George Floyd and hashtag Black Lives Matter to promote or sell something or to get something for a discount, as you saw earlier. Incidents of these, I don't know what you want to call them, white supremacists who have been losing their jobs left and right.
All right, my response to the looting and rioting that's going on, I wish a nigga would. I went out and spent $1,300 on this motherfucker. Please, I want to use it.
A few moments later.
Yeah, been losing their jobs left and right because of saying, racist things on social media, and people are reporting them back to their companies. We have a lot of that going on. So a lot of these people are coming out of the woodwork, out of the blue, out of nowhere. Also, I want to tell people you need to be careful while you are out here. There's people that's trying to come out when there's curfews and stuff. I'm just letting you know, if you're not going to be protesting early, I would advise you to stay your behind home.
Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light him up! Go inside now! Get in the house! Get inside!
Are you okay? You got hit?
I'm good.
There has been incident where I believe two couples they were going to, I don't know where the exact location they were going to, but they weren't protesting, they weren't rioting, they weren't looting, they were just trying to get home. They were in their car and they got pulled out of their car.
Hey, you about to go to jail? Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Just drive on.
No, come on, man. Like, let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go, man.
Why do they lock them up? Somebody got this body cam. Don't know how.
Gunfire? You real shots, eh?
Shots fired. 145 out.
He can't go nowhere. He can't go nowhere. He can't go nowhere.
What are they locking them up for?
Hey, give me an air. Give me an air. Hit the window. Open the window. Open the window. Stop the car. Put the car in park. Put the car in park. Put the car in park. Put it in park. Put the car in park. Hit the unlock.
Look
Hit
at
the
that. Look
unlock.
at how they do them to it. Who knows? Nobody knows. Say they had a gun in the car, and there's no gun in the car.
We're crossing American in the park.
Put him down, man. Put him down. Put him down. Zip him up and move him back. Let's go. Hold him up and move him back. What is the point of this? What is the point of this? What are y'all doing, bro? Got him.
What are they locking up?
What happened? What was that from?
That kid was telling him to keep going. He had a juice over the car. One dude and he wouldn't drive off.
Let's get that car out of the way.
So, people, y'all guys need to be careful out here. This is not a joke. I know a lot of people are playing around. This is not a joke.
It was like that people were very prepared.
Right now, we're behind the line.
Okay.
Okay, well, you keep going and go where you gotta go, and that's fine with us.
Okay.
We got plenty of time here.
Are you okay?
I'm getting shot. I'm getting
Katie, are you okay?
rubber bullets. Rubber bullets. It's okay. It's those pepper bullets. It's those
Are
pepper
they?
bullets.
Who are they aiming that at?
Now you're shooting at the
At
photographer.
us, like directly at us. Directly
Why
at
are they
us.
doing that?
You're shooting at our crew.
I don't
Do they
know.
not know that? Obviously, they see the camera.
There is some action behind you. Hang on.
Yep. We've got one person being arrested here. We've got. We're meeting. Yep, we're good. Yep. Hold on. I got you. Hold on. They had us here. We're speaking with State Patrol right now. Give us a second, guys. We can move back to where you'd like. We can move back to where you'd like here. We are live on the air at the moment. I'm sorry?
You're under arrest.
Okay. Do you mind telling me why I'm under arrest, sir? Why am I under arrest, sir?
Officers with CNN, and he's on the air right now.
Okay.
I believe they're about to, we're all about to be arrested. That's our producer.
Our CNN producer is
I'm
being.
probably going to be taken in a minute.
Our CNN camera crew
we're
and our
just,
producer are being arrested
just
right now
reporting
on
on the
live
closure.
television in handcuffs.
I've never seen anything like this.
Why, guys, what is,
Allison.
why are we
This is not a joke at all. Reporters getting shot at with rubber bullets, reporters getting locked up. Like, y'all need to really take this seriously. Social media. The other day, it was hashtag Blackout Tuesday. There were some people that were confused about it. They were thinking that hashtag Blackout Tuesday was about you being mute. They're trying to stop the movement. That was not about stopping the movement. That was a moment of silence for all the Black people that got killed, that has been killed by cops or brutally beaten by cops. That's what that moment of silence is for. So and then also there was a confusion with how they use the hashtag. Apparently you was not supposed to use this hashtag with other hashtags. You was only supposed to use hashtag Blackout Tuesday. You were not supposed to put this with hashtag Black Lives Matter. A lot of people did this. I think mostly Black people, because it was different races of people who were doing this, but mostly Black people were doing this. They were putting these black squares. There was nothing wrong with that, but a lot of people were confused on how to use it. But I think there were some people who explained it in a very good way. I will say that. Now, also another thing that I have been seeing, I've been noticing is that there has been some miscommunication about, we only start up riots and we only protest when Black men get killed by the cops. This is false information. I've been actually sitting back looking. I'm not going to show the person's name, but I'm going to scribble out their name, but I will show the person who's been making post after post about, Black women, they don't cape for us, scenarios like, why are we out there protesting? Yet again, you should not be telling someone how to protest or when to protest. I've been noticing this too on social media, where people are telling you how to protest. If you're a peaceful protester, that's wrong. You should be doing what everybody else is doing. You should be going out there screaming and yelling at the cops. I get that you're frustrated, and I feel that with you guys, that you're really angry to the point where you want to yell and scream at the cops and you want to vandalize the vehicle. I get it. I understand it. A lot of people are saying that this is wrong. You guys are criminals. You guys are thugs. You guys are not criminals to me. You guys are not thugs. This is of years and years of what Black people, we struggle with. This is what we go through. So I understand why you guys are doing this, but at the same time, we don't need to do this. And like someone stated on YouTube, another YouTuber has stated, we cannot judge people who are out here looting either. We cannot judge people. I've been seeing that too on a lot of social media. A lot of people are talking about, they're looting. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're tearing up the cop cars. We're paying for that. Why are you guys so concerned about these cop cars? Why are you guys so concerned about these stores? Have these people who got stores look at as when you walk in. Let me tell you something. If you walk into a certain store and that store sells nothing but very expensive products in it, most likely those people will be looking at you sideways if you're a Black person. So I don't know why you guys are so concerned about these stores, okay? We don't pay for the stores, but I understand what you're talking about, the cops, but at the same time, how did this start? George Floyd was killed by who? By a cop. Okay, nobody did nothing. None of the other cops didn't do anything. They let this cop sit there and kneel his knee on his neck. We gotta keep focused, Black people. I'm noticing a lot of Black people are losing their focus off of what really matters. It's not these hashtags, it's not the looting, it's the protesting. That's the most important thing. Another thing too is the protesting. Yes, as we're going into protesting, like I stated earlier, people want you to protest in a different way. They want you to be out there protesting. Now, some people don't want you to be a peaceful protester. They don't want you to be marching. They want you to be out there literally slashing tires. Now, this is the problem. The protesters are getting confused with the looters. They're thinking that it's the same people. They're not the same people. This is a different type of set of people, and there's different type of set of protesters. There's the ones that start the riots, and then there's peaceful protesters. Now, the looters they're beginning to figure out there are younger people. And let me tell y'all something. There is different races of colors that's out there protesting. A lot of the black people think that it's only black people out there. No, a lot of people in general, they think that, let me clear that up. A lot of people think that it's just black people out there. The news, and we're going into the news. The news is literally, they are taking things out of context. They are actually spreading a bunch of lies. A lot of the news outlets are called, like I stated, they are calling our black people all kind of names for protesting. And my thing is, there's other people out there protesting with them. They're mixing up the protesters with the looters, and the looters are actually young. It's the younger generation, like early 20s, 18-year-olds. They're the ones that's looting, teenagers and young adults of different races. I've seen different races of people. There was also a YouTuber who was called out about it. He said he wasn't looting, but he was out there, and they were trying to figure out, because somebody was saying, I don't know, this is how they're saying the peaceful protesters are coming out in the morning, in the daytime, and then they're going home past the curfew. They go home before the curfew. Then you got the ones that's causing the riots, which is slashing the tires of the cops. I get that. I'm sorry, you might not understand that, but I get that. But that's the main focus, is the cops. Then the next ones are the looters. They're the ones that's looting while all this riots are going on. And I think the cops are standing by. Some of the cops weren't doing nothing, they were standing by. So, they were standing by. So, yeah, it was a lot of things that I personally wanted to sit back and see. And I noticed that a lot of the people who were sitting here, on social media, I know a lot of people on social media, they have been, I have seen people where they have literally just really crossed the line and just start downright talking ish to each other. That's one thing that us black people need to stop doing. We have to come together and stop saying, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. We have to come together, because the news outlet is really hurting our image right now. They really are. They're trying to make us look like the bad guys. They're trying to look like they're the victim. The policemen out there is the victim. They are not the victims. The victims are who? All the black people who have gotten killed by cops. They're the victims. Let's not forget about them. I know there was a lot of people who are supporting us. Like, for one, TikTok did the hashtag Blackout Tuesday. I appreciate that, but TikTok has a lot of racism. It's a very toxic app that I do not like. I wish that it would just end or just die out. It's very toxic. I will be talking about that later on. I might show you clips, but they are very toxic, and I just wish that people will not get blinded by other people who is supporting us. Be focused. Don't, how you say the word, don't get distracted, because some of these people are not for us, okay? So keep that in mind. I want my black people to know that, and not everybody out here is for us. And also, I want to tell you guys too, I know this is about black people. If you're not, I see a lot of people are like, why is white people out there? Why is different races are out there? It's very important, because although black people get beat up the most or get killed the most by cops,
these police officers mistook my identity and assaulted me. They did not have my rights in mind, because instead of admitting that they were wrong, they charged me with 3 felonies.
911 emergency.
Oh my God, they're pounding him in the head.
going to kill this man.
Respect to anybody who's a part of the black culture, you know, or anything, you know, Black lives do matter, but there has been brutality that was against another white boy, but he lived. They almost beat him to death. I think that's happened in February. That was an incident. Literally some cops that actually, other black cops that stood up to the white cops. They saw what the white cops were doing and stopped them. There was literally a black woman that stood up to a white cop because she saw how he pushed the black protester, and she was so enraged and so upset.
To you right now as Officer Stephen Coherence. He is suspended with pay, relieved of duty, as they call it, while this investigation goes on. Let's roll the video and show you the video that's at the center of this entire issue. You will see in that video a protester basically on her knees. You will see Officer Coherence walk by her and basically push her in the head. You will then see another officer by the name of Crystal Smith. She is not a ranking officer, not a sergeant or a lieutenant. Officer Smith saw what happened, was apparently so disturbed by it that she actually pushed Officer Stephen Coherence away. And as you see in that video, the rocks, the bottles start being thrown at officers, and this is what set off a very tense exchange that lasted for hours between police officers and the protesters here. Now, I must say that prior to this, police were already on edge because several of their police cars were damaged and several officers were surrounded by some of these protesters, the officers by themselves, while the protesters were throwing rocks at the police cars. So there was a tense scene before Officer Coherence apparently pushed that woman's head. Nonetheless, the police chief here in Fort Lauderdale just wrapped up a news conference 5 minutes ago, and here is what he had to say.
Has been removed from any contact with the public. He is relieved from duty. Basically, while this matter is investigated, it is going to be investigated first and foremost to see if any Florida statutes were violated. In other words, a criminal investigation is going to come.
I mean, black people, we got to do better. If you guys are the cops, you got to do better. Black people, I'm talking to you guys. If you are a black cop, you got to do better. You got to show these cops that's not the way, because they pulled them out. And I'm finding out that these troops are not supposed to be in the towns, or they're supposed to be in the towns. I'm hearing mixed things from the social media outlet. I'm hearing mixed things on the mass media. Like, I'm hearing like they're supposed to be there, and now they're saying they're not supposed to be there. Can somebody please explain that? Like, I'm hearing mixed things. And I really don't want to talk about who's in the White House, but he claimed that I didn't tell nobody to do that. So I'm hearing mixed words. Somebody please explain that whole ordeal as to why these troops walking up and down the streets and they're not supposed to be there. Like, is it supposed to be the cop? And apparently what George Como has said, I say George Como, I'm sorry. The governor of New York, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I know who he is. You've been seeing him all over the news, all over social media. He was saying that the looting is supposed to be done by the cops, not by the troops. So now I'm trying to figure out, why are these states allowing these troops or whoever, the National Guards, to come in? Because apparently with these college kids, they did not do a good job. I keep calling them kids, but these college students, they did not do a good job at that. They just pulled them out their vehicle. So that's scary to me, because my brother was afraid, because there was an area that we drove through in Topeka, and it was like a riot there. And my brother's like, why are you going through here? Like, I'm not trying to get through here because, why are you going through here? It's crazy to me right now. Like, and I'm like, well, I'm going down there. We have to figure out ways to get home so, things won't happen to us, because these cops are not caring. They're seeing you black and they're seeing you in vehicles. Apparently they're going to pull you out your vehicle. So be careful. I really want to talk about that. Another thing too is a lot of people are not saying anything about it. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is really a touching point with me. I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer at heart. So basically, I went on somebody's gamer page, and they had the blackout hashtag Blackout Tuesday, and he was saying, "Hey, we're here with you guys," you know, something on the lines of that. And I thought that was cute or whatever. I thought that was nice. I said cute. I thought that was nice or whatever. And as I was reading the comments, somebody was saying, "Oh, really? I was wishing you would give us a quick gameplay. Oh, please don't get political." Sad to say, I'm hearing this from different races, but I'm also hearing this from Black people. A lot of Black people out here are not talking about it. They're being very quiet about it. They're not responding back. I'm looking at certain people sideways. They're upset because things that have happened to them in the past. But police, if you didn't, like I stated, like I talked about the black kid, the white student that got attacked by a cop, that's you guys. If y'all don't step up and have riots or whatever, or protests, don't do nothing, that is your fault. Do not blame Black people for that. Black people are not going to protest for something that was done to a white student. You white people have to do it yourself. And I also noticed that somebody Asian was talking about Hong Kong, or I don't know what he was talking about. And I was like, yet again, Black people are not going to protest for Asians. You guys have to start that before we even can come along. Just like how the white people came along with the Black people to protest about all the brutality that's been going against them when it comes to cops. So I've been looking at like I stated, I've been looking at a whole lot of stuff, and I've been just sitting here gathering up information that I've been seeing on social media, and it's not cute to me. I don't like that somebody was trying to do a nice gesture and everybody is going to comment area. I also called out a person, I don't know if y'all know B-Love, you probably know her. She did the hashtag Blackout Tuesday, and a lot of the Black people was like, "Oh, don't do this. They're trying to mute us." It's not about muting. It's a moment of silence. It's not about, they're not telling us that word is not, let me tell you something, hashtag Blackout Tuesday is not meant for you to shut up completely. It was just a moment of silence for Black people. But yeah, going back to B-Love, underneath her Instagram post, somebody was like, I don't know who this guy was, but he had all these hashtags. And this is what everyone was telling us, not to put all these hashtags underneath somebody's name, because it pushed the hashtag Blackout Tuesday black box on those hashtags. He was putting hashtag blue, he was putting hashtag Black Lives Matter, he was putting all the, I'm gonna show you the hashtags, he was putting all these different hashtags, and I asked him, and I was on a different account, because I don't want people to know, actually I have 2 Instagrams, one for family and then one for business, but like this, and I was asking him, this is nearly 100, I was asking him, why are you doing this? Because, like, why are you doing this? I actually call him a spam account. He's like, no, I'm a real account. And I was like, and also spam account means you have somebody's name and you have a picture, and most of the time the picture is like, these people are kind of like trolls. They're like a new type trolls where they go and do all these crazy things. I felt like he was a troll. That's why I call him a spam. And he basically had all the, and I even told him, I was like, dude, you got all these hashtags. So now her post is gonna be in all these hashtags. So why would you do that? Like, I felt like, so I'm gonna tell you right now, I had a snitch, because I felt like he was trying to get B-Love in a whole lot of trouble, because she was because what people don't understand, when you are like on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram, when someone posts something underneath a hashtag and then you come along and you put another hashtag, their post goes into another hashtag, because that's what it picks up. It picks up all the hashtags that's underneath that post. So by him doing that, that was very disrespectful, and he was trying to do something. I think he was trying to get B-Love's post and other people's posts, and I wish I could explain to Instagram, but they say they're gonna look into it, because I was like, oh no. I said, I know what you're trying. He basically, what he was trying to do was, he was trying to put B-Love's post and other posts with these hashtags. Like, I know when people do this, they're trying to put your posts. I've called people out myself. I'm like, hey, don't put all these hashtags. I got my hashtags that I want. Don't put any more hashtags. I don't want this post and another hashtag. And that's another thing too. I know I said don't argue by hashtag, but please be mindful of that, because a lot of people are really touchy about hashtags right now when it's coming to Black Lives Matter. So be very, very careful with this. I think that's all about I can talk about. I might go back to the old me, but if I don't, go back to the old me, which is the older video, because I've been sitting back looking. Let me know if I missed anything. We can talk about it, discuss it live if you want. I can do that. If you don't want to discuss it live, we can talk about it later on, and then I'll tell you my viewpoint on it. But thumbs up will be dope. Thumbs down is not going to make me frown, because haters are my motivators. Peace. And you know what? We need that right now the most. We need peace.
So sexy.